Hello and welcome to Module 3. It's Dr. Livy coming back with, I think, a module that does a really good job of linking to what we've already done in the first substantive module and really building on that material in both in a chronological way, which I think is really helpful for us in this sort of history course, but also as we're starting to see the slow evolution of this idea of something distinctly American, a theme that we're going to be exploring in this course in greater detail as we move through it. So this course, this portion of the course, I should say, takes us to the first really solid European settlements in North America, and we're going to be looking specifically this week at Jamestown through a couple of different lenses. You're going to be reading two textbook chapters, which is a little bit bigger of an ask than our first assignment in the first module. I think that you're going to find that these things actually work really well together. It is a bit extra work, so you need to allot for additional time in order to complete it. You're also going to be doing something a little different. You're going to be working with your first selection of primary documents on colonial Jamestown, which is going to add, I think, a nice deep dive to this topic and get us to better think about these first settlements, not just Jamestown and Roanoke, but also places that will come after. As you're going through this material and as you're thinking about it, a couple of things that I'd like you to think about as you're kind of going through your own process is thinking a little bit about the nature of existence for individuals who are coming from Europe into the Americas to settle and what their experience is like. I think we often look at this portion of American history from a very macro level. These are colonists in a settlement, but maybe instead looking at it from through the eyes of different individuals, particularly those individuals such as indentured servants who are less represented within the historical record in a traditional narrative, and thinking a little bit about individual stories, like what would bring someone to this sort of place at this point in European history. Why choose to leave, and specifically, like, what was the experience like of not knowing when the next set of supplies or set of individuals coming to join your community would arrive. Maybe more importantly is thinking a little bit about how the kind of evolving relationships between indigenous American societies along the Eastern Seaboard and these new settlements, how those evolving relationships are a huge part of the construction of this new identity, and how these new settlements will permanently and indelibly impact the cultures of indigenous Americans up and down the East Coast of North America. This is where we're getting into the more nuanced aspects of the second or kind of more elaborate stages of the Columbian Exchange as well. So keep that in mind as we think a little bit further about the cultural aspect of this story, this exchange between these different societies. As you're doing your work, we are moving at a decent pace as you're doing your work. Please be sure, if you have questions, to reach out, and not just to me, but also use the discussion post and forum to add insight and to kind of provide yourself with an opportunity to see this material through the eyes of others. And let's really lean on one another in the class. I'm really excited so far with where we are, and I'm looking forward to kind of moving forward with this material with you. Again, if you have any particular questions about the mechanics of the course and where we're going, please feel free to reach out to me directly through Canvas, etc. And yeah, if there's anything else, obviously feel free to reach out. All right, good luck.